just a box of fidget toys and different activities and paper activities that you can do with your teacher or by yourself as a student. And up here I have, sorry, I'm gonna do it real quick. Up here I have a little checklist for every item that's in here. The only thing that I think is not in here is the activity packet. I'm still working on that. But everything in here is up here, and it's vinyl, so you can check it with like a marker and erase it later on, or put an initial of the student that has it. The research I did, so my research was what works for high schoolers and middle schoolers, but mainly high schoolers because that was my focus. And I found that high schoolers, they tend, when they're stressed, they tend to like to do things that aren't that complicated and take a lot of thought because they have to do that in class already. And with middle schoolers, they like to do things that activate their mind, which is like a little more challenging for them. So I found toys that was in between, but it could also, it wasn't too much. And each stress toy, it focuses on a different emotion or a different feeling that that student has, and there's also motivational cards in there. I'll explain further in depth with the toys later on, but the activity packet is like activities that teachers can do with the students and one student at a time, or students can just do it themselves and have like coloring the pages and examples of things that like conversation starters and things that can help students get more motivation, especially in the morning and stuff like that. And there's a section for loud toys and quiet toys, because during testing you can't be loud and sometimes you need toys that make noise to help distract your mind. So the quiet toys are in one section and the loud toys are in another one. My budget for that was $195. Well, that's how much I spent, but I would sell it for like $25, $30, because it's already expensive enough for teachers to pay out of their own pocket because they don't get paid that much. And fidget toys are really expensive, like $195 for just like 6 toys. My bad, it's like a lot. But yeah, and more on the research I did, I found that a lot of middle schoolers, they tend, during tests, they tend to make noises and like have clicking and tapping on the floor and stuff like that. So in here, I put a rubber band thing that goes around the chair, so when the students tap, it will make noise because it's elevated off the floor. We have stress balls for during testing because it's quiet and you just squish it and it helps keep your mind focused on what you're doing. And then we have pop-it bracelets. This is just, it's more for the look, because pop-its, they make pretty much noise. It's a lot of noise, so yeah. And then these are the more critical thinking toys right here. I forgot what this is called, but you can create shapes and do different, they connect to each other. You can do different shapes and sizes and stuff like that. I forgot what this is called, but this, you could turn it also into like shapes. Like one student made it into a heart one time, and it was pretty cool. And my reviews for this from other students that I've tested with in the school were around, the main conflict with it was it needed more design and organization with the box, because it is a little messy in here. And then our motivational cards, I'm gonna pass these around as well. These are motivational cards. These are handmade, so it didn't cost any money. We just looked up some things, or we went to students and asked them what they wanted to hear and what would make them feel better to read and stuff like that, and they told us, and we wrote it down and designed it ourselves. And I have there's 2 other people who were a part of this collaboration. They were Marche and Alnicia. They have books that will go in here that helps with mental health for teens and middle schoolers, but they're not here, so I won't go into depth with that. But that's my capstone project.
All right, do we have any questions for Mallory?
Yeah.
What made you think of having a box to do this kind of stuff in?
Wait, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Like, what made you think of that?
I struggle a lot with paying attention in class, and when I don't have something to like fidget with, I tend to like don't do work, or I'll like fall asleep and not pay attention in class. And I've also noticed in other students that during like tests or like class time, they'll fidget with like pens and stuff, and it can distract other students. But I got the idea for myself because I knew I needed something, so yeah.
Okay, so you said your budget was $195 and you're selling it for $25.
Yeah.
So how are you making a profit?
Honestly, I'm just banking on hoping that the teachers actually like it.
Right, but if you're spending that much money on one box and selling the box for like an eighth of the cost that you are making it with, then it's not a very like sustainable business, I guess to say. Like you're not gonna last long.
Yeah, but if it's to help the students, I wouldn't mind taking money out of my own pocket because I would work a job, and on top of that, if teachers are paying for it and they really like it, they're 9 times out of 10 gonna recommend it to other teachers, and it'll fall into place.
But still, even if they're recommending it to other teachers, those other teachers are still only paying $25 for a $200 thing.
But it's a monthly thing. Like the boxes I forgot to mention that. It's a monthly thing. The box changes up over like every month. It'll be different toys and stuff like that, and you can either pay for a full year, which would be the $195, or you could do every month. If you see something that you like, you can pay for that. And there's gonna be where I sell the items in there separately for a different cost as well. So yeah.
Saying how to make profit off of it, there can be different companies that give scholarships for that kind of thing.
That's still, I feel like that's still like a bad business practice though, to be focusing on companies to sponsor and scholarship it, because that might work well in the beginning to get it as like a startup, but after a while you need to be making a profit off of what you sell, even if it's like $5 a box.
Yeah. Okay. Isabella, you had a question?
I was going to ask, what was I asking? I forgot what I asked. But I do want to add on to what Dory was saying, that it is not really like a great business practice, but then again, it will run out. But I definitely do like the idea, and getting it to work, I think you can do it. I just think you would probably have to raise the price of it a bit more because, again, it's not really going to sustain you in the beginning. But, oh yeah, I remember the question I was going to ask. If you were given much more time and resources to work on this, what would you do with it?
If I was given more time and resources, I probably would create a bigger box, and that's when I would go up on the price. But I just had to work with what I had. But if I did, I would say I would focus more, because I really focused only on high schoolers, so I would focus more on the middle school as well, because I wanted to do one for each school grade, and I couldn't because I didn't have that much money. But yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
So if it takes you $195 to make one box, and you have the subscription, somebody pays for the subscription, would it still be $195 per box you have to make?
It really depends, because with prices, they go up and down. So I could be paying $200 one month, and I could be paying $100 the next month. It really just depends on the prices of the toys and stuff, and where I'm getting it from. Because if I buy in bulk, then that's like $1,000 and more than that and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're okay. So you mentioned that there were books that were added to this with mental health issues. When I think of students needing fidgets, sometimes it's like, I have my own, it's the ADHD side, but sometimes it's anxiety. So did you find anything in your research or thought behind like how to help students that are actually struggling with anxiety, or like any?
That's what the books are for. Alnicia's book is mainly based on anxiety and things that you can do to help with it. I don't, since we did the project together, I didn't really help on her book because it was a separate thing, so I don't really know what all is in there. But she does have a lot of ways to show how to cool yourself down and different things to like distract yourself. She has coloring pages, she has motivational things, a lot of things in her book that really helps with the anxiety part. So yeah. Somebody, I think you had your, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I really like how inclusive your box is and how it covers a lot of broad standpoints, especially with the book, including other people so they get their books out there and everyone knows. My question is, like what, for your box, like why did you, how do I want to phrase this? Why did you like add in, specifically like those fidgets?
Each fidget were based off of different things. Like these ones are to distract your mind from something, like if you're overthinking or if you're like nervous or something. And then the Pop-Its are like a really popular thing with middle schoolers, and it's also a bracelet, so yeah. And then the stress balls are for like when you're taking a test or it's silent time and you need something to like fidget with, but you can't fidget with things that are loud. You can squeeze the stress ball or play with one of these chains that I have in here. They're also really quiet as well. And I already explained the other ones. I forgot these right here. I forgot what this is called. I think it's a magnet ring thing. And this is, it makes a noise, but I really don't know. I'm not gonna lie. But the toys, basically to sum it up, the toys that I bought are based off of things that correlate with different emotions I've seen in high schoolers and students, like middle schoolers. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Any other questions? All right.